Long ago, Long ago, somewhere in the depths of space, there were some worlds. In each universe lived the creatures of the settlement. They glide with a island. They communicated with the help of voice, images. And I think no living person will understand how to convey their urge. They convey an imagine in their way you see it, convey those feelings and emotions they felt. It's impossible to live there, and it was so necessary. Each lit fate and harmony, in a beautiful harmony, in darks and light. An age of free was free in the thought and depths. This creature don't depend either of time or on space. They created illusions and showed them to others. Illusions consistent of certain words and leaves. Some give that understand their being, this transcend for reality, which was completely in their hands. Then you everything and everyone could gain information for any place and about any subject. That interesting thing. All them were wrinkled, and no one could ever offend another. They are the creators, all them games and words. And someone did not like their creation. Everyone came up with something more interesting. One gathered in groups from similar illusions, and together they began to play and believe in them, found friends, talking and creating more in their words, and took them so much that the universe and split it and occupied it, and huge space that completed to grow endlessly. They were forced to figure out how to move in the universe. Creatures invented some bodies, and with the help on which they moved in the universe, on the school harmless game at first glance. I was one of those creatures. We colorize demons because we are so comfortable. Each race how its own characters in appearance range. Our main difference was long black or brown hair. All the colors are rare. Everyone had black ours or yarn, our like cats. We were always one. Some were from our surprise us with transformation into different forms, such as a bear or a dragon. It was the most exciting illusion. We loved to play animals. We fed on the light of darkness. I know there was a race. That's all. They were the very fast who could comprehend the very misfortune. They were calm and loved to study more than to create. They are light. And one day, on the edge of the world, one group of savage creatures, caught in their idea, lay complete control of all races of creatures. They called the famous Empire, and managed to create the world in 7 days. And world they will become a punishment for those who find themselves in it, who fall into the clutches of this empire. They begin to attack other worlds, destroy them, and using up to the usual fog and small particles. I become one of the users of this experiment. Our world was attacked and cruelly mocked by everyone who tried to defend him. They saved our bodies. They are around screaming, hiding in secret places. Someone managed to escape, hiding in the created body for himself. I did not have such a body. I ran with all my might, trying to warm everyone in my path. I ran so hard that I did not notice the glass I had, which lent no nether world. I still feel guilty for breaking it. I fell right off the shards. Panic swept over me. I looked around. It was quiet. I got up, could hardly move on. Suddenly I heard voices. They were coming closer to the stone. So I tried to find shelter. I did not have time to go, as someone abruptly got my hand. I caught it. I turned around. It was those of the Empire. Panic swept over me even more. I tried desperately to explain, but I was too late. They took me to the ship, where a separate place was reserved for me. I thought in a cage, alone, like a dog. So I spent 50 days, our time. After they called me some kind of girl, they tied my hands and my lower body so that I could not resist. What do you need? I asked.
Don't worry, soon you will know everything yourself.
With them words, the camera closed, and I was alone. Suddenly, I saw flashes of light. There were a lot of them. Then they clashed into my head. Big weapon current. I received the strongest shock. My mind didn't end. Chapter 2. The Robot Oblivion. I woke up. The place is not familiar. Where I am? What kind of people are with me? Why do I see who I am? I do not remember anything. I was in the car, a woman behind the wheel, and then someone else was sitting next to her. The unfamiliar street was inside the window. I came closer to the people to see the landscape. We drove into the house. The car stopped. Then later, a woman told and took my hand. I followed her immediately and both and down. We walked into the booth and went up the steps to the door. I don't remember anymore. I remember how we all sat in the kitchen. I sat on the corner of the chair and looked into the flower. Its leaves come split of three triangles. For the top, the sheet were red. For the bottom, green. And there were a lot of those on the flower. There are like butterflies set on the flowers. And then there was a male voice with a face. I did not look. I screamed and we started talking. That was my grandfather. He died when I was 4 years old. I do not remember his death, but I still remember this one moment with him. Chapter 3. In my childhood. My childhood was spent alone. As people say, I was not close to God. One day I was at home with my older brother, and I jumped off the bed. Brother wanted that I would not go this, but I never inside to anymore. And then came my karma. I fell down off the floor and a tooth stuck on my lip. I spat from the pain. The brother went out of my lips. Other brother took toilet paper and drained my blood. At that time, we were still young, and that was the only thing that came to his mind. It was this Latin that my brother told me when I asked about the scar of my lip. As a child, I lived in Bulgaria. We had a 3-story house. Water was given then 2 times a day in the morning and the evening for food at home. We lived on the 4th floor. They spent in the bar's house, whitewashed partially. I loved to ride the swimmings in my father's range, then playing in the courtyard with the children. At night I did not understand who was talking about. Bulgarian I don't know. Live in Bulgaria was daughter. They dried the leaves and then sold them. Other the family, we went to the pool. We drove around the big mall. One morning, time and you fell into the. So my days went by. Son went left for Russia. There was a city, Kanakova, in their religion. They we destroyed to say. They we decided to say. Our apartment was across from the grandmother, but all the events took place at the grandfather's house. Instead, all my childhood with her. My mother spent all the time and work, sometimes for days. I remember how I wanted to drink. I quietly drank up to my brother, say, turn off the light in the kitchen. I want to drink, but the brother didn't play attention on me. We was busy chatting behind the computer. And having resigned myself, I go by myself. Everything switches to be normal. I drink water and then I turn off the light. I see one creature. It looked at with grey ears as if it wanted to harm me. I ran out the kitchen and ran into the hall, which relief I speedhead. I sighed. Sounds still hot. I has signs still hot. The next day, I for the bulk with toys. I left room the door of the stroller. I did circles around the year. Our house had 2 girls off on swing. They called me to a person there. The girls asked me about my doll, about my name, so we meet. They asked if watched the cartoon Wings. I replied that I had no knowledge about this. They told me the time and channel. After talking with them, I went to look. I really like this cartoon and then went. I was very dreamy child, so I wanted to become a Wings fairy. I began to dream about it. Then this cartoon and my work began. I often painting balloon on paper. I want to be like her. I want to see the wings and at night. I was alone in the room watching it. Mostly my sister, Elvira, come to our city. We love to swim and swing. We found a girl who also loved wings. We decided to play with her, and the girl got to long time who will bloom. And in the end said, then I be Roxy. We still didn't know who it was, so we decided to go and see season 4. It was English with subtitle. Therefore, my sister translated to me, and I watched. In the end, I liked Roxy. My information has done her. I decided to say the same constable as hers, and I would be very unsmart how that I went to Corbett places is in this. I remember I went for a walk alone. I sat in there this swing on the thing of the yard. A warm breeze blew in my face and my hair. They were bent in the past was Elvira. I shouted to him, "Hi!" and he showed me the fact. Elvira is the guy from the thoughts for Natasha's house. She introduced me to him. I thought that we would be my boyfriend, but I did not understand the thing there. One day I went to the walk with Natasha and Vika. The guy was rainy and we spent time in the stairwell. The girl thought the force of the elevator. I was afraid to get Saturday everyone just in it. They were come to us. They went for a walk with the dog, and I went with him. I cursed. I went no place with this. Suddenly, his dog ran away, and they had to run after her. The white Labrador ran very fast, and I ran the same way. My run was well developed. In front of my house, I catch a dog. I was running. You thanked me for the help. After this incident, this tight demands me come better. Not much, of course, but I was lucid, which then too. When the run had passed, we had thoughts about the rainbow or the sky. We want to find the show and the end of it. But it was very far away and we couldn't get out of the forest. The next day I had a dream. I ran on the parties of the center of the rainbow. There I began to shout and woke up. I want to light on the words of the dream. In the yard we play dogs that traveling here in the time. I will be dog being Chihuahua, I will be called Pictures, and I will be a cat, white cat. I'm a grey man, shepherd, Jack. Okay, let's start the game. I will start on 3. On the left that I which have house here, and so just wanted thought the Broska. It's still all labor on jammed off. Hey, who are you? I'm Turtle, local dog. And who are you? I'm Jack. I'm very creator a time travel. Who can I wish you? Your help is unsuccessful. We are arguing around the site, holding the type of confrontation. Then the clap of the carousel of roll it out. We made it. All we have to call out the stones. Run to the cat. Who are you? We're time travelers, and we looking for that stone over there. Run, Jack! I come with you? Of course. Forward. Next, the picture goes to the positivity where we have not understandable words. Lather, and there's all the picture of paper. I will create my cartoon. He came to town to go into the garden. They will use it to play with my friends, Dalek in Marcy Cyrus. We tried to hope in the bailey and chopped it and over the kitchen garden. Make stands sound. After lunch, we always went to bed. It was my most favorite time. I hated to sleep. Remember when I lay and looked out the window? Raindrops flashed across the glass. Thunder round. The rooms where we sleep in the dark. I was afraid and lay under a blanket. Only sometimes look out the window. I remember how I did one day. I shepherded Seroja to fill the blanket. He was too glad that now is one no tangent inside. I look helping people as well. One day I was lit and play with a bed. Everything will be fun if no threats. I got the idea to think in the noise. Why not? Why did I go? I shoveled her noise. Then she called not put out, and I ran with far run to now. As a result, we built its bed. Later in my kindergarten, my grandmother behind to work, and the time to sleep we went to the shops with her. Buying clothes, I just played usually in the hall. There was one story. We had a bird at home. His name was Roma, and one day when we walked into the garden, he set off his shoulder to his grandmother. We left an apartment and headed for the yacht. Suddenly, Roma arrived. Grandmother was not. We remembered home and left him. And I was him to fly in the yacht garden. What do you mean? He would have frozen in the got there. So from his simple story is because to look at them